Obviously, we can't do that. And so we prayed, and there were a few students that were highlighted. And so, Ireland, if you'd be willing to come up. Ireland is going to be sharing with you all today. Let's give it up for Ireland.
Let's give a big round of applause for Ireland.
You guys are in for a treat. She's awesome. So, one more time, let's give it for Ireland. Maybe get the table, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ireland. I'm a junior at Baldwin High School, and I'm super excited just to be here and talk to you guys today and share. I want to thank Pastor Thomas and just the executive team for giving me the opportunity to do this, and all of my spiritual leaders for just raising me up and teaching me and listening to me and just making me confident enough to give you guys a message today. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about my testimony and how I went from just a general knowledge of God and who He is to a more personal knowledge of who He is to me. And so this kind of, the background behind this is that I grew up in a Christian household. I've always known that Jesus is the Son of God and that He died for my sins, but I didn't really know how to apply that or how to I didn't understand what that really meant and how that could change my life. And so that shallow faith and understanding kind of just followed me throughout my middle school and into my first year of high school. I joined cross country the fall of my freshman year, and as I grew in success in that, a lot of struggles kind of arose, and I had a lot of setbacks. And so the first physical setback I had was I developed exercise-induced asthma, which in running, it's pretty important to breathe. So, that might be helpful. So it just really became a big thing that kind of stopped me from progressing and being able to recover from hard workouts or races. And then the second thing that I kind of felt an attack was my spiritual or my mental side. I started to interpret encouragement and encouragement and support as pressure or expectation. And so that really burdened me, and it kind of took the joy out of what I was doing. And it kind of led to this fear of failure and a fear of man, because I wanted to make the people that loved me proud of what I was doing. And when I felt like I wasn't doing what I needed to be or reaching their expectation, I felt really burdened and I felt kind of insignificant and worthless. And so I know that there are people here today that are dealing with things like that. And I just want to encourage you that God says you are greater. He says that you are more. In Matthew 10:29 through 31, it says, "Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will fall to the ground outside of your Father's care. And even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. So do not be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows." I feel like God wants to just highlight to someone in this room that you are worth more than your success. You are worth more than your failures. You are worth more than the burdens that you face and the pressures that you face, the things that you carry, because the enemy is going to try to demean you and make you feel powerless and make you feel insignificant and worthless. But you are a child of the Most High God, and He says you are worth something. He says you are worth more. And so God kind of taught me this. He encountered me at Bold 23, which is the conference that the high schoolers go to during the summer. And I walked into that room just knowing that if there was space for pressure and fear and insignificance, then there was surely enough room for Jesus Christ in my life. So I walked into that room, and I knew that I needed to give everything to God at His feet. So I did. I went to Bold Conference. I got on the ground, a puddle of tears on the ground, and God met me in the midst of my challenge, in the midst of my struggle. And I cannot even describe the feeling that I felt when I got up from the ground. I was freed. I can't even describe it. I felt amazing. I felt like everything that I was facing was just lifted off my shoulders. And so I want to just challenge you into whatever setback is in your life to invite God into that, because He's going to make a difference. There's something powerful that happens when you choose to give God that thing. He's always there for you, but when you decide to be be the person that gives it to him, he's going to do something powerful. So if there's room for the fears and anxieties and the chaos and the darkness of this world in your life, there's surely enough room for Jesus Christ in your life. And I did not keep my encounter with God at Bold Conference. I went home and I heard from God. My relationship with God was deeper than it's ever been, and I was intercessing for someone that I really loved in my life, and in my room one night with music on, and the song Yahweh by Elevation Worship came on, and I immediately knew that song and that name would become like my testimony and my anthem. If you didn't know, it's YHWH, and it's one of God's many names. He introduces it to Moses in Exodus 3, and it just means like I am who I am, or you can even say that in your breath. So your inhale is YH, and your exhale is WH. And so since I had asthma, he came to me and just told me that I needed to like really embrace that word. And so I started to write Yahweh on my wrist during my races, and I actually breathed it while I raced so that I could have my eyes set on God, and that he would become my strength and my confidence during my races. And I feel like life is kind of like a race. You might not be able to kind of relate to racing because most of you are out of high school, but sorry. But life is kind of like a race. You go through things, you have highs, you have lows. You sometimes think you're not going to make it to the finish line, and sometimes you think you're going to have a huge victory, and sometimes you do. You can be excited, exhausted, really stressed, confident, whatever. And in Proverbs 16:3 it says, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans." And so I did that. I set my eyes on God during my races, and the confidence that I felt at the line that I didn't feel before was just massive. The difference was massive. And so I did that. I dedicated what I did to him, and he just transformed not even just my mental side, but also my physical side. I improved so much, and I did things my sophomore year that I didn't even think I would accomplish in my senior year. So dedicate all that you do to him, because he's not only going to establish your plans, but he's going to make them significantly better than you could have thought for yourself. So as great as that would have been to just end the story there, this past spring my asthma got really bad. I was on like medications, steroids, inhalation powders. I had a humidifier. I did like breathing exercises, and none of it worked. I had to skip races. I had to skip practices. I was literally like staying up at night. I couldn't fall asleep, and there was just no improvement from all of that I was doing to try to make it better. And so at the state track meet, I ran 3 races there, and that was really hard. I could not recover from the first race, and I was coughing just the whole time, and it made it a big barrier for that. So that was something that really was just hard mentally and physically just to do. But 3 weeks later, Bold 2024 was there, and I had a time trial that morning for the mile. I ran my mile, and I did not cough once after it, which is really unheard of after a year and a half of having asthma. And so I went to Bold 2024. I was prayed over, people intercessed and prophesied over just my heart and my lungs, and I have raced since then. I had a 15-minute time trial like 3 weeks after. I didn't cough once. I didn't even take my inhaler. I raced 2 weeks ago. I didn't cough once, didn't take my inhaler, and I raced yesterday. And I have a little bit of a cold right now, so I did cough a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. But God has healed me. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I've been healed. And so I'm just in awe of his goodness and his just grace to me. I was asked when I was preparing this by Elizabeth, what captivates me about Jesus? And I'm in awe of his goodness and his faithfulness. He's become my rest. He's become just my comfort, my peace, my hope for tomorrow. He's the reason that my dreams are coming true. He's literally the breath of life to me. I would not be able to do what I do if it wasn't for him. And so I'm just in awe of him, and in awe of his goodness. I'm in awe that by the fact that I can sow into him at 16 years old, that I'm sowing into something that will be relevant for the rest of my life and the rest of eternity. So I just want to pray over you guys and just ask God that he would become those things to you, and he would become personal to you. So just bow your heads with me. God, I pray and I thank you for all that you do and all that you will do. May you move in our hearts and become personal to us. Move into our situations and meet us in the seasons of struggle and success. Help us to put our trust and our hope in you. May we find rest and freedom at your feet. In your name, amen. Thank you, guys.
Come on, one more time. Let's give it up for Ireland.